Hello, class. This is a quick video to give you a summary of what we're doing in the class and the direction that we're taking. So, we started with the site analysis, and then we wanted to bring to you information about the site plans and the drawings themselves that are the final results. And then looking at the bubble diagrams and the program development, we're able to take a look at the spaces and how the spaces relate to each other, and then start to create a sketch or a preliminary kind of schematic floor plan of your development. So let's break it down real quick. At site analysis, we talked about, and you can look in this assignment. There's a video, there's examples, but if you do a search, Google search, you can see we've been talking about. I'll show you some student examples towards the end of the video. You can see how graphic this is, right? But it includes everything that you can think of. Some students are missing a few things, like the wind directions or the noise or the views. I know that based on the three projects, some of them don't have all the information, but as much as you can think of to put on the site, pull from these examples, bring it into a graphics, and like I said, I'll show you some student examples towards the end of this video. Students that have already uh, handed in some of those projects. And then when we talked about site plans, there's a video here that goes through a little more technical um, topics, looking at the grading plan or the details that go with the construction drawings, which kind of pull it all together with some questions that um, kind of test and bring you into that little more detailed information. So site analysis is more of a design at the beginning, where you're taking a look at the site kind of before you even design it, to look at what's there and understand it. And then we start to look at the spaces and program development. How many bedrooms is it, right? Um, in a site analysis, we look at where we might want to drive the car up and where we want to walk around, where are the potential good views and good window placements, like south side, right? And some of those things. So now we're looking at the spaces inside, not outside. Some people are still doing a site analysis for the bubble diagram. The bubble diagram is completely inside, although if you want to make some notes on the outside about how it affects the rooms, that would work too. So program development is, what kind of spaces do I have? Do I want to include a movie theater, or do I need to have space for a home office? So, for instance, the Matthew Winters house may want to have a movie theater or a small office area, as well as the McRae project that they could include, and in fact, she would like to have guest room and slash office space. But you decide and kind of give her some ideas for that space and how you want to pull together that plan. The bubble diagram is really about taking a look at the relationship of spaces. So we already know that the master bathroom needs to be close to the master bedroom. Well, we know that there are going to be two small circles, a little bit larger circle, and a smaller circle with a line between them to kind of connect those. So some people are handing in bubble diagrams that have circles, but they don't have any notes or any like lines to connect those spaces. So this is your kind of analysis of those spaces. And if you look online, again, at the bubble diagrams, I even created a video for it. You can see that they're very graphic. You see the lines, right? There's even sometimes a line that goes through for circulation. So I've seen a couple people handing in just circles of the spaces like this one down here. That works, but we really want to get it to a point where you can use it for your portfolio, a little bit more graphic. Although this does work as a bubble diagram, it's kind of a sketch um, of your thoughts of the space. We don't need to have something complex like these generated ones, although you can go in that direction too. There's one down here that's kind of nice where it's kind of a flow of what might happen in the circulation. So there's the bubble diagram. Going back to the next step, and that would be this week, picking those spaces and starting to develop a kind of a tighter plan of how the people move through the spaces and where it might be in the overall layout. Now, when you look at a search for schematic floor plan sketches, you'll see that it is kind of getting into the preliminary of the layout, and some people will create these spaces and work it out in hand sketch and then kind of develop the building form around it, where I would encourage you to maybe, and some people will put that plan to the side a little, understanding the spaces and really get creative with angles or a different form for the building. Now that you have an idea of the site and you have an idea of the interior spaces. Now, with some of these projects, like the underground project, you can propose to him that you have some different shapes. We're being creative. The condo, though, the macrame project, your creative design is probably going to be more of an interior layout and how your walls are placed or what you do with the loft um, and the skylights. So you want to think about all of those things too. If you take a look at these schematic floor plan sketches, you start to see that they're, especially something like this, there's kind of this layout of how the spaces are going to work with notes all around it. Even this one here kind of shows where's the kitchen area and um, door swings, like, and closet areas, so that you're tightening up the plan a little bit and uh, designing the space. Okay, so that these are and I'll show you examples of some of these that students have handed in. These are the 4 projects that we have so far: site analysis, understanding site plans and answering a few questions, the bubble diagram, which also includes, guys, the list of spaces somewhere, even if it's not in the bubble diagram or both in the bubble diagram and outside of it, that works too. And there are different thoughts on the printing, but I think it should all be uppercase and kind of all at a straight angle, although some of these are getting a little messy here with the text. If you could use it for your portfolio as kind of a one of the smaller projects that shows the process, and keeping it all uppercase, keeping it organized, even in a sketch way, would be better for your presentation. And now let's go ahead this week, take those spaces, get a good hand sketch of what how your floor plan is developing. But keep in mind that as you're developing the floor plan, you're also thinking about um, it in 3D. Where are the windows? How's the outside going to look? You may even start to sketch um, in a 3D or in your mind, kind of forms of what the exterior looks like. So you can kind of think about it all in one place. And actually that could work between the bubble diagrams and the floor plan sketch. Can starting to think about it in a 3D um, model. So get creative. If you want to create 2 different sketches of your project, you could create a sketch that the client will probably use that's a little more conservative, but then start to uh, imagine something a little more out of the box and creative, although it may or may not be built. We want to be able to bring that art into architecture and explore options for clients who may not know how to do that, right? Come up with ideas and make suggestions. I personally would love to have a house that has a slide in it. Maybe one day. I was thinking about how I would do that with my current house. I saw it one time. I thought it would be fun. And instead of taking the stairs, you take a slide from the second floor down to the first floor. I'm not saying run out and put a slide in there, but uh, there are unique possibilities. Mountain climbing, maybe like a rock climbing wall that you go up to get to the upstairs. I'm just throwing out these ideas to you to say that architecture should be fun and you should kind of look at potential possibilities, a spiral staircase, the way of looking at the deck at the Macrae project. So there are a lot of different things that that are not thought of yet that you can start to explore in a sketch and make suggestions. Okay, some of you guys are behind a little. Let's get caught up. We're in our 4 week kind of blocked out things to do. We want to wrap up these four assignments in the next week so that we can move forward. Good job for those of you who have handed something in already. These are a couple of student projects like the Macrae project, looking at some of the site analysis that we talked about, graphics, and with or without some details here on the Matthew Winters winter project, a couple of those. So looking at the elements, you've got the bubble diagrams that are examples here. So many more options and examples online and in the modules. Take the time to look at those and start to pull together your project. And always keep in touch with me if you have any questions or you need some help. I don't think we'll need to meet every Thursday in a remote Zoom meeting if I create a video like this that kind of goes over it. And then if you reach out to me if you have any questions, but take the time to dive in and look at what I've given you and then start doing something, put it together. I think I've given you the tools. You just like now need to go research it and really have fun doing it, pulling it together and learning from it.